Yo, Sagittarius, it's Rachel from Royal Soul Tarot, and I'm here to do your March 2018 tarot reading and random book opening, which I love to do. I'm using Addiction to Perfection, and I thought about you, Sag, and I opened up, and my eye fell to this. One reason people are suffering today to an almost intolerable degree is that their unmediated suffering has no conscious connection with its archetypal ground. Cut off from that ground, they feel that they are alone, and their suffering becomes meaningless. They do not realize that what they are suffering exists within creation itself, and that the gods and goddesses of religion and mythology have been there before. I'll skip ahead a little bit. The suffering itself can easily become guilt-edged, self-dramatized, when we lack the god or goddess at the center. To sympathize with that suffering in ourselves or in others beyond a certain point is to condone the arrogance, and to condone the arrogance is to paralyze the sufferer. Okay, deep thoughts. Let's take a look at how that might inform our reading. I've already laid out the cards. Very interesting. You know, I think March 9th, could be wrong about that date, but soon after the first week in March, your planet is going retrograde, Jupiter, that planet of wisdom. Going retrograde, I think, until December. So, your fiery manifesting might have to slow down a bit. I think this spread speaks to going inward with an eye to the past, and going inward to feel, going inward to take a look at, take a deeper swash at your heart. The heart of the matter, the essence of the reading, I pulled the King of Swords. The mind of Sag, the philosophical aspect of Sag, the esoteric study of Sag. That logic, that cool-headedness. But where's the heart? You know, and what drove it home was getting this as the obstacle card, the Ten of Cups. That which is, you know, this is masculine principle. Human, Hu is light, Mun is mind. Human, the light of the mind. Masculine principle, the mental. Cerebral, feminine principle. The heart, the body, the family, the nurturing, the warmth, the giving, the commanding, the demanding, the opinion, the compromise. And those are those exaggerations? I don't know. Usually when I see the King of Swords, I think, damn, he's smart. But in this case, I think, damn, he's unfeeling. What is he hiding? What is she hiding? When I use he or she, just flip-flop them, doesn't matter. I do not mean to offend with the gender thing. I usually mean masculine principle and feminine principle, not really gender, okay? The only major arcana card you got in this spread was in the Hopes and Fears, and it was the Lovers. So again, this is that archetypal ground. This is the ground that all of us walk on. All of us deal with relationships with others. Ourself in relationship to another. Ourself in relationship to spirit through another. Sex, thoughts, fruits of our labors, choices, it's all here, and we're all dealing with it all the time. And this is where suffering began, right? Supposedly in the story of Adam and Eve, this is when suffering began. So I feel like this retrograde time is not going to feel maybe so great, because there's going to be all this Aries energy coming in, and you're going to want to do, and but on the other hand, with Jupiter being retrograde, you're going to feel somewhat lost. And I think you knew that this time was coming unconsciously. You knew there was going to be a time when you were going to have to kind of walk the walk of all of your esoteric studies, or your ideas on meditation, or some forms of going inward. This is not going to be business as usual this month, or maybe for the coming months. Not business as usual for Sag. Going into your heart to look at past actions, past resentments, past hurts, when feelings that weren't expressed, feelings that you procrastinated on expressing and then finally stuffed back deep down inside. And, you know, where do they get stuffed? In our subconscious, in our bodies. It can wreak havoc on our health, mental health, physical health. And what is the best way to clean out our subconscious is meditation. Learning how to focus the mind. Learning how to be the master of our mind. But I think this is asking you to do it through your heart. Because, you know, he's the master of his mind, right? But not going through the mind, going through the heart. Going through the heart. Look, there's an environment during this time of going back to the roots of you, going back to your soul, why you are the way you are, who you are, what you love, and where that came from. Your love of study, your love of books, your love of music, your love of travel, your love of thought, your love of awesome conversations, your love of a good time. Going back to the roots of you, your treasure. And honoring it again. And honoring it by questioning it. Honoring it by looking at your role and the parts you've played in the past, and what you're carrying with you in your everyday life that could be healed, that could be expressed. I see resentment here. I see regrets here. I see procrastination too. Like, I don't really want to go in there and feel all this. I don't really want to start digging into this pile. That's dense. But I think you know. I think unconsciously you know. Also, this is in your future. This sense of standing in the middle of past and future and reflecting, and not denying the past, bringing it along with you so you can learn from it and study it and grow. You know, in the past, I'm seeing some wounds in relationship to trust. trust of someone, maybe from a very young age, trust of a family member, trust in your own goodness, some fear here. If this is playing out in your life recently or today, this is self-sufficiency taken to the maximum. I mean, there's no relationship to spirit here. There's no faith or trust in something larger than who you can beat off or win against, or there's a defense here. There's a defensive, it's almost aggressive how closed and defensive it is, but I think it's from fear and hurt and pain. Deep-seated. Deep-seated. And it's exhausted. And it's on its last legs. And I think that's why, you know, it's coming in with this rest. This rest and digest, not fight or flight, right? We walk around with that a lot more than we know, that fight or flight nervous system, and not working with this rest and digest system as much as we could. And that faith that, you know, that faith that your heart is connected and protected by the universe, by God, by whatever you want to call it, by the goddess, by divinity. That if you live truthfully, that if you express your true feelings, you've done your human job. The outcome of this spread, you know, if you keep going without taking this time to go inward, without healing your heart, without learning how, again, to honor your heart and express your heart's desires and needs and fears and just get those feelings out, we have the Four of Pentacles. I see this as no change. I see this as business as usual. For someone who's unwilling to go the way of the heart. Not sharing, not divulging information, not giving, and not receiving. And I think, again, this isn't out of stinginess. This is out of some sort of fear. I see it in the conscious potential outcome, too. I see a wariness. I see a holding back. I see a slow forward motion, very slow. Cups are love. Cups are emotions. This armoring that you have against giving up the true emotions, showing, you know, and the horse even scared to, you know, cross this flowing water. The flow of relationships, our relationship to others, and the deep work of intimacy. There's a fear of intimacy here. Fear of intimacy here. I mean, this is looking like a solo pursuit, Sag. There's no, except for the obstacle card, there's no, and the lovers, which is archetypal, you know, not much group action going on, not much togetherness happening. Perhaps you're not in a relationship, perhaps you are. Either way, this fear of intimacy, you know, a long relationship has its issues, right, with intimacy. essentially, with any relationship that we have with other people, with our work, with our art, without deepening intimacy, getting more and more honest, listening more, compromising more, asking more questions without holding the heart of the matter in the other person, feeling the heart of the matter in your projects, without honoring that heart, you don't deepen intimacy. And you don't move forward. You don't grow and you don't evolve. And, that's what I'm seeing with these outcomes is little to no change and no change at all. So I clarified. And what did I get for fiery Sag? King of Wands. Beautiful. Going into your heart, there are rewards in creativity, in worldly pursuits, in relationships, in the world. I mean, look at the salamanders, this ability to flow with change and still master the moment. I also got the Fool. Result-oriented. Lusting for that crown. Not even knowing there's a crown to be had. Winning, enjoying. The Fool is a moment by moment archetypal energy that is the way of the heart. He trusts in something larger. She trusts in something larger than herself to keep her being able to dance on the edge of a cliff, to keep her following her impulses, to go beyond her trifling fears, to go beyond the past. Look, no baggage at all, hardly anything. I mean, this is looking great. This is looking great. If you take this time to go within, I mean, the exotic nature of your inner life, look at that as travel. It's inner travel. If you start to heal some of this subconscious stuff from the past, forgiveness might be in order. The outcome is this. It's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. Becoming more you, deeper you, and embracing a style of life that would be a way of life, not a style that seems so surface, a way of life that's following your true heart. I completely want this for you. I want you to take this time and start to melt the ice. Melt the ice of this. They say melt the ice queen, melt the ice king. Be a changer. Look at these butterflies. Be willing to change. Be willing to listen. Slow down. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. I have another card. King, oh yes. Okay, 10 of Pentacles. Wow. Far cry from this, right? Just staying stable. Just staying sane. No. Going on that journey. Going on that journey. Inner journey. Right now. And reaping the benefits in this peaceful state of being, state of mind. Having better relationships because of it. The childlike spirit, the feminine and the masculine, unified. Wow, I'm loving this for you, Sag. Okay, let's tap our hearts. Take a big breath in and out the mouth. One more time, in and out. We're all on this path together. Don't be afraid also to ask for help, to ask for guidance. Perhaps seek the counsel of someone. Make connections that nurture and water and feed your heart right now. Okay? You've got enough mind for a long time coming. Okay? Love you, Sag.